Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Merly on Time Watch Reviews. My name is Chris. I unbox and review budget watches. And today I am doing something a bit different. I am reviewing a watch that is not a budget watch, but this is a watch that is completely worthy of your time and worthy of you saving money in order to be able to get one of these watches. I am referring to this watch by Christopher Ward. This is the C60 Trident Pro 300. The 300 referring to the 300 meters of water resistance. This is an absolutely fantastic dive watch. It has a beautiful dial, beautiful finishing on the case, on the hands, on the indices, on absolutely everything. Beautiful Swiss movement with a customized rotor, decorated. It is absolutely fantastic. This is the fifth watch that I have had sent to me by Christopher Ward, and I am so in love with the brand that this week I have purchased my very own Christopher Ward watch. Which one did I get? I mentioned in the unboxing that I was thinking of either the white Trident Pro 300 or the Sealander C60. Well, you'll have to wait for a couple of weeks to see which one I got, but Christopher Ward is an absolutely magnificent brand. I really sold out for the brand, and I'm going to share my reasons why I think it's worthy of your investment to purchase one of these, save up some money, put some money away each month, get yourself one of these. They're really fantastic, and today I'm going to show you why on this episode of Merly on Time Watch Reviews. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the up close and personal montage of this absolutely beautiful watch. So let me go over the specifications and what you are getting for your money. And then at the end, I will summarize my likes and my gripes. So first of all, I do have to mention that the strap that Christopher Ward sent with this particular watch is not the OEM strap that you would normally get. This is from the C60 Tide watch. And so you can see the hashtag Tide there on the underside of the strap. It's just a reviewer's watch, and as such, it has been sent with this band, so I cannot give any feedback on the original strap that you would normally get with this watch. This is the Trident Pro 300. It is a dive watch. The case of this watch that was sent to me is 42 millimeters, so this is a 42 millimeter diameter case. It is only 11.5 millimeters thick, and it is 49 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. And as you can see, look at how those lugs curve down quite nicely, ensuring that this fits nicely on the wrist. Now this one fits a little bit larger than a 42 because I think of this strap, which is 22 millimeters at the lugs. And so it does fit a little bit bigger on the wrist, I think, because of the 22 millimeter strap. But for those with smaller wrists, this Trident Pro comes in a 38 millimeter case as well as a 40 millimeter case. So a huge kudos to Christopher Ward for making this line of watches wearable for all sizes out there. You have a sapphire crystal covering the dial with AR coating. As a dive watch, it has a zirconia ceramic bezel, which is 120 click unidirectional bezel with every 5-minute interval painted on the bezel. And you have an inner stainless steel ring between the bezel and the crystal, which also has a minute track going around it so that you can set the triangle of the bezel absolutely precisely. It perfectly hits all of those little minute tracks on that metal ring between that bezel and the crystal there. And so let's have a listen to this bezel. "120 click unidirectional bezel." And as I said, everything lines up absolutely perfectly with the triangle and with the 5-minute intervals around that bezel as well. Moving to the back of the watch, you can see that it is rocking the Sellita SW200-1 Swiss automatic movement, which is 26 joules, beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour, giving the seconds hand a really nice sweep at 8 ticks per second. It's a 4 hertz movement with a 38 power reserve, and the timing tolerance on this watch for this movement is plus or minus 20 seconds per day, so you are not getting a COSC certified movement. And this particular one that I have in hand is running at about plus 12 seconds a day. And just have a look at the beautiful customization on the rotor. Very nice touch. Christopher Ward branded there with the Twin Flags logo in what they call Elabore Calicamone. And I'll let you check that out on the website and look up what that means, but really nicely finished, a nice touch indeed. I should also say that the ceramic zirconia bezel is fully lumed, as well as everything, indices and hour and minute hand on the dial. The case is made of marine grade stainless steel and has a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces on it. And so I will address the case in just a moment, but you can see the nice chamfer edge on that lug and some nice brushed surface on the top of the lug, and then just a bit of a chamfer sandwich. So you have a fine brushing in the center, and then a nice sandwich of high polish. It's just an absolutely beautiful piece. Let me just get it in focus here. Absolutely gorgeous. At the 3 o'clock, you do have a 6.5 millimeter crown with the Twin Flag logo of Christopher Ward branded on it. There it is there. Really nicely done. The crown itself has really buttery smooth action, and so it's very easy to unthread. No grittiness, no grinding on the threads at all. When the crown reaches the first position, there's a nice pop there letting you know that you've reached the first position, and then this will enable you to manually wind this watch by turning the crown clockwise. One pull of the crown and there will be a nice little click there. Let me just get that. You'll feel a nice little click, and then by turning the crown clockwise, you can change the date at the 6 o'clock, as you can see. And then by pulling the crown out to the third position, it will stop the seconds hand. So this is a hacking movement and will enable you to adjust the hour and the minute hand accordingly. Now moving on to the dial, you have a beautiful polished lacquer dial on this watch. with all of the indices applied, which also have a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. The polished surfaces, as you can see as I just rotate the watch a little bit, really pick up the light and give this watch a beautiful glitter. Just look at the one at the 3 o'clock there. It is absolutely amazing. You can see the tip of the applied indice is polished. The top surfaces are brushed. Really, really amazing and nicely done. You have the twin flags logo of the Christopher Ward printed below the 12 o'clock, which is a really nice change from the name Christopher Ward being printed on the dial, which is something that I know many of you will really, really appreciate. I love the logo there at the 12, and above the date window, you have the word automatic printed in orange, giving the dial a bit of extra pop alongside the arrow tip of the seconds hand in that orange color, and then 300 meters, 1,000 feet for your water resistance rating printed above as well. The date wheel of the date window is color matched to the dial, which is a great touch, and framed with a white border that's printed, and the edges of the date window are also beveled, giving it a nice finishing touch. And of course, you have the really, really cool Trident for the balance on the seconds hand, which is also, I just love it. The hour and minute hand are finished with a high polish on the metal with lume filled in between. And the lume on this watch is really, really good, as you would expect on a dive watch. There is a minor gripe that I have about that, so we'll just get into the Lume Shot now. And I thought this would be an interesting thing to do, is kind of put it side by side with another one of my watches. And so I'm going to show you a Lume Shot comparing the Christopher Ward with the Citizen ProMaster Echo dive watch that I have. And so here's the Lume Shot now. All right, the Christopher Ward is on the left and the Citizen is on the right. And as we get up to the point where it speeds up, you'll start to notice that the bezel on the Christopher Ward is going to fade out as we get near to that 20-minute mark. I'll discuss that in just a moment. But as you can see, the lume is really quite good. Lasts well beyond 20 minutes into the 25-minute mark. All right, so what is the price? Well, the price for this one on the supplied blue-orange hybrid rubber strap, as you can see right here, is 1,140 Canadian dollars. The other options for this blue dial version is an orange tropic rubber strap that you can see here, or you can choose the blue and white tied ocean material. So I made a mistake at the beginning. I didn't realize that this was a strap option for this watch, and in fact it is. I would say to you, do not get the ocean tied plastic. It is stiff. It's not the most comfortable in the world. It was one of my gripes about the C60 tied that I had in last for review. So if you do get this watch, I would not get it on that C60 tied strap. Both of those options, the orange rubber and the C60 tied strap, make the price of the watch $1,125, or finally you can get it on the brushed stainless steel bracelet shown here. My pal watching, James, says that it is absolutely phenomenal. And so the price for it on the brushed stainless steel bracelet, which does taper, by the way, from 22 millimeters to 20 millimeters, is going to be 1,375 Canadian dollars. Okay, with all of that said, let me just zoom out just a tiny bit and let me talk about what my likes are and what my gripes are with regards to this particular piece. My gripes are few. Here are my gripes. 22 millimeter wide lugs. I would have preferred it to have 20 millimeter lugs. I think it would have made it even more comfortable and wearable and make it fit like a 42 with the 22 millimeter lugs. I think with the wrist presence that it gives, it makes it fit a little bit larger than the 42 millimeters. And so I would have preferred a 20 millimeter lug size. The lume on this watch, which you saw, has two issues. It's really good lume, but there are two issues with the lume. Now, first, I would say at the price point, you would expect it to be one of, if not the very best lumed watches that you own. But my Citizen Echo Dive, Citizen Echo ProMaster Dive watch, $1,000 or so less in price than this watch, had better lume. Also, the triangle on this watch should be the only thing lumed on the bezel. And here's why. When the lume begins to fade a bit and in the dark, it's actually quite hard to locate the triangle, because in the dark, the markings on the bezel kind of fade and blur a little bit, and they all kind of look the same, a little blurry, a little the same, making the triangle quite difficult to pinpoint among the rest of the printed numerals. And so I think it would have been much, much better just to have the triangle only. That way it is much more distinguishable and noticeable for, you know, your dive timing purposes. That's my only gripes, guys. Other than the band, yeah, the C60 tied band, cool. It's made from 100% ocean material, but it just isn't that great in my opinion. So don't get it on the ocean tied band. So those are my gripes. My likes, well, guys, I absolutely love everything about this watch. The quality is absolutely outstanding. The case finishing is absolutely brilliant. The satin finishing on this case is so smooth that you can actually mistake it for polishing in some lighting conditions. The chamfered edge of that polish, the light catcher case as they call it, look at just how it does catch the light. It is absolutely phenomenal. The polished tips on the applied indices really give this watch even more flair in catching the light and giving it a lot more wrist presence. The lacquer dial is absolutely gorgeous. The crown action is the best I've experienced on a watch. The finishing on the rotor with the collage of the twin flags on there is absolutely beautiful. The lume, notwithstanding some of the minor issues mentioned already, is really, really good and lasts all night long, at least the hour and the minute hand for sure. The date wheel color matched on the dial is a nice touch. The bevel action, or the bezel action, and how it lines up perfectly with all of the markings and that inner steel between the bezel and the dial, or the crystal, I should say, and how it matches up with every single one of those marks on every second click. What a fantastic touch that is. I am so impressed with Christopher Ward that I just purchased my own. I was trying to decide between the Trident Pro 300 as seen here in the white dial or the Christopher Ward Sealander. And so you will have to wait and see which one I got. In a couple of weeks' time, I will be showing you that they are definitely worth the money they are asking for and then some. The build quality is absolutely outstanding. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in for this in-depth review. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And remember, whenever you leave your house, you need to have a great piece to wear on your wrist, like this beautiful Christopher Ward Pro Trident 300. And wherever you're going, you need to get there on time. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next video.